Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode here in NHL 23. So yes, we are up here in the conference finals. I know this is completely weird because this team is never usually getting this far in the playoffs, but we managed to knock out our nemesis in the Wild in 7 games in that second round, and now we're going to be taking on our toughest task yet with the Los Angeles Kings, who are one of the best teams in the entire NHL. But you can see with Minnesota, we got kind of lucky in a way. We lost game 1, 3-0. Then we managed to win 3 straight games, 2 of them by only a goal. Then we lost in overtime, and then we got shut out, and I was thinking, oh, game 7, we're definitely going to lose this. But we managed to come through with a 4-2 victory. And yeah, now we're in the conference finals for the first time in what feels like probably like at least 10 seasons, but honestly don't even remember when we won our first Stanley Cup, and only Stanley Cup at this point. So anyways, there is that. Let me show you guys what we are going up against in LA. See if we're able to find a way to that Stanley Cup Finals. It would be huge for us. LA is definitely a good team because they knocked out the Sharks in the second round, and the Sharks have a lot of great players. So this is what LA is looking like. You might think it doesn't look anything fancy, but they have some solid pieces like Holtan and Earl. Also, Jamie Moore was pretty good, and our former player in Matty Pakashlotti. Defensively, they're also stronger than the Wild are. You can see with Nold and Kozhivnikov. Some pretty solid defensive core in a way. And they do have a pretty solid goaltending tandem in Ninamaki and Strite. Depth-wise, you can see they have Del Rio and Lindback, but they're currently missing Mitchell Wild, who only played 2 playoff games. He had like 70-something points in the regular season, and he's going to be missing the entire playoffs because he does have a concussion. So we will not have to face him, which is huge for us because maybe that gives us a better chance at winning the series. But at the same time, LA managed to go through San Jose without him, so they must be still getting that depth scoring regardless. So yeah, that is that, and let's get into this conference finals against the Kings. Let me actually go back to my lines I used to have, because I did move Vance back to the top line in last round, but it was only for game 7. So we're going to go back to the way we kind of had things beforehand and see if that's going to help us out or not. I think that's good. Let's see if Tayup can have a good, could have a full-on good series, because he's had a lot of inconsistencies still in this playoffs, but he has managed to win 7 of his 10 games, so I will take that. Let's see if we could take out LA and go to the Stanley Cup Finals. It would be nice if we could go to the Cup Finals. It would be kind of fitting if we're playing Toronto in the Cup Finals if we get there, though, because Toronto, I think, still has Brunstrom, if I remember right. And obviously, it would be kind of a funny thing for us to like play Brunstrom for the Stanley Cup, but at the same time, I really wouldn't want that too, because it kind of hurt having to let him go, and then him only going in as far as the Stanley Cup Finals. Well, for us, we're able to win it, but let's see what happens here in this conference finals. See if we're able to win. We do not have home ice in this series, which is the first time that's happened in this run so far. So let's see what happens. We knocked out another California team in the Ducks in the first round, so let's see if we can take out 2 California teams. First period of game number 1. We're up 2-0. That's a good start. Curtis Coburn scored very early and in 10 minutes in as well. We're up 2-0 after 1 with the shots 14-12. That's a good start. Good defensive play. Good offense. Just got to find a way to be consistent and play good defensively as well in the second. Like, we don't want them to start to claw back into this game if possible. Second period, 4-1. Let's go. Kachuk makes it 3-0. Gustafson scores. That's kind of a surprise. He makes it 4-0, and Kerman gets a goal past Tayupkin. Shots are 26-15. Well, let's just lock this one down and take game 1 if possible. Holton makes it 4-2. Oh no, we're gonna blow this. Niemi's making it 4-3. Are you serious? We're gonna blow a lead here like this, boys? Gotta not allow them. Oh my goodness. That might be the biggest lead I've ever blown in the playoffs before. Tayukin, what are you doing, man? Yeah, LA is definitely our toughest task yet. They do not sit back in with their leads. Oh my goodness, I thought they were going to get a power play goal late. We were up 4-0, and we blew it. And they have a power play to start overtime. Oh my goodness. Well, maybe Tayukin shouldn't start next game, because I would put that probably fully on him unless our team kind of just sat back and was like, hey, we have a 4-0 lead. You know, nothing's going to happen from that, but they just completely blew it. I don't think I've ever blown a lead that big. I know I've blown a 3-goal lead, but I don't think I've blown a 4-goal lead before. Let's see what happens in overtime. See if we're able to weather the storm, because we know we're going to be on the penalty kill to start OT. Come on, boys. Come on. Power play for us now. We do not score on it. Come on, Vance. I know you have goals in ya, man. Power play for us again. The refs are giving us chances, boys. And we do score. Let's go. Dallas Bruce on the power play. So we did get a massive scare with them 4 unanswered goals, but we managed to win another 1-goal game. I swear most of our games in this playoff run have been 1-goal games, but we managed to escape with it. Whew, that was a close one. Again. Coburn from Atkinson and Wharton. Coburn from Bursch and Wharton. Kachuk from Bursch. Gustafson from Bursch in Brookbank. And the game winner, Bruce from Brookbank and Wharton. Goddamn, tongue twisters. Didn't we get Atkinson from the LA Kings, now that I think about it? I think we did. Let me take a look at Atkinson's stats. I feel like we traded for him from the LA Kings. Oh, no. Raymond Carter's been injured. That's a big blow to the defensive core. We'll just go replace player for now, which we'll put in for Gone. But that's a pretty big injury to have, because Raymond Carter's our best kind of DFD shutdown guy. So hopefully that's not going to hurt us here in this playoff run. But didn't we get Atkinson from the LA Kings? We did. I forget what we traded to LA. I think it was a goalie prospect, but we managed to get Atkinson from them, which is nice, because if he was on their team, that would be kind of scary. But let's see. What can we do? Let's go with Kachuk and Jokela. Fergon's a left demon, but he shoots right, which is weird. Let's keep it like that. Yeah, let's keep it like this, I think. Yep, we'll go with that. So our defense score definitely takes a huge hit without Raymond Carter, so hopefully he is back soon. I think it said he would be back soon. Let me check when he's supposed to return. But that could hurt ourselves in the series quite a bit. May 24th. Yeah, he's going to be back in a few days, which is good. Because if it was something like long-term till like June, that would have been painful. But he should be back for Game 4, which is good. Okay, let's keep the team the exact same except for that injury to Carter. Let's see what Fergone does in his replacement. Hopefully he's good enough defensively, and maybe he can chip in with some offense too. That'd be very helpful. So here we go, Game 2 in LA. It's nice that we already took one game in LA. Can we take both in LA? First period, 2-1 LA. Not ideal. Once again, Coburn scores first on a short-handed goal, so that's our first shorty, I think, of the playoffs. But they scored 2 goals, Corbin and Niemi. 2 goals on 6 shots. I think I'm going to probably go to Devin next game, because Tyupkin is definitely not... I have not liked his performance in these first 2 games. Last game he had a 4-0 lead. He blew it. This one he starts off with 2 goals on 6 shots against. So he needs to be much better. Can we find a way to tie this game up in the second period? And can Tyupkin at least kind of play a bit more reserved? Second period? 4-2. That is amazing. Okay. Great period in a way for Tyupkin. He didn't have to face a lot of shots, I think, that period. But Bruce made it 2-2. Atkinson made it 3-2. And Asher Vance scores a power play goal to make it 4-2. Let's go. That's a massive period for us. Was not expecting us to have an offensive surge of our own in a period. But here we are, up by 2 goals. Let's see if we can lock this down and take both games in LA. And then we got to take some games on home ice, hopefully. Penalty kill. Nicely done, boys. LA's a good road team, though, so hopefully they don't take games on our home building. Altschuler pulls LA back within 1. Come on, boys. Oh, my goodness. Morrow ties the game up. Tyupkin again, man. Final 5 minutes of this third period. And we are going to our second overtime in as many games with the Los Angeles Kings. Shots are 40-31, so I say Tyupkin's playing better in this game, but yeah, we need to find a way to contain ourselves when we have the lead, because we had a 4-2 lead and now we've blown it, so very similar to last game, except for we didn't give up 4 unanswered goals. But yeah, I might be looking at changing the goaltending maybe for next game, but damn, this has been a crazy offensive series, and it kind of sucks going to back-to-back overtimes, because we've been in a lot of overtimes in this playoff run. But I mean, I'll take it if we're able to win them, but if we end up losing them, it's going to hurt a bit. So Let's see what happens here in OT. Can we take a 2-0 series lead headed home, or will it be tied at 1 apiece? Come on, boys. Come on, let's get that next one. Come on, Vance. Come on, boys. Coburn. Brookbank. Ah, and LA wins, and it's Pakashlotty, of course. Of course. It has to be the former 7th rounder of ours in Pakashlotty, and we're going to be having a tie series headed home. Damn it. Looked like we were going to take a 2-0 series lead, and then we fell off. Coburn from Bennett and Jokela, Bruce from Bennett, Atkinson from Coburn and Wharton, and Vance from Brossois and Jokela, and then 3 unanswered goals. Yeah, Tayukin, you're going to be out for next game, and then I'm going to have to rework some stuff with the defensive core probably. How was Fergon in his first game? -1. See, maybe that injury to Carter was a main reason why we lost that game. Hopefully he's almost ready to go soon. He will be getting ready for Game 4, but we definitely need to play better defensively when we don't have him in the lineup. Okay, let me go here to edit lines quickly, and yeah, we're going to take Tayukin out for sure. He's just way too inconsistent. That's the one problem I have with him. Yeah, an 887 now. It was like up at an 890 at one point, but yeah, Devin's going to come back in. Carter will be back soon. We will also take Recchi back out of the lineup again and get Laxo back in. Last time we put Laxo in for his first game, he had 2 goals. So let's see if Laxo can come back in and help us out a bit. And then we'll swap Brossois and Wharton again. And Bruce and Coburn as well. Yep, that's what we'll do. Let's see if we're able to respond. We need to win both games at least. Well, one game at least on home ice. But if we can win both, that would set us up for a good spot. But Carolina is up 2-0 on Toronto as well right now at the moment. So Burnstrom might be in a bad spot right now. I don't know if any of our former players are on the Canes, but there could be. Because we used to have a lot of really good players, and we had dealt so much of them away over the years. But let's see what happens. Can we take a 2-1 series lead and at least win one game on home ice? Because or else we're going to put ourselves in a bad situation. Come on, boys. First period of game number 3. 1-1. Yeah, this has been a very back and forth series. First 2 games went to overtime. This one honestly could as well. Brookbank scored for us. Pakashlotty scored for them. Shots are 13-9 in favor of the Kings. I hate that Pakashlotty scoring against us. I wanted to hold on to that guy longer term, but I just could not find a way to keep him. Let's see what happens in the second period. See if we can get that lead back. Yes, we can. 2-1. Brookbank again. Okay, Brookbank, I see you. I see you. Shots are 25-22 in favor of the Kings. We're only up by a goal. So a good goaltending performance so far from Devin, but we have blown leads in the first 2 games, so hopefully that doesn't happen here. Let's get some insurance, please, boys. Third period underway here in Game 3. If Devin plays really good this game, I'm honestly going to probably start him next game as well. Final few minutes here in Game 3. Still only up by that 1 goal. Can we hold them off? Yes, we can. Devin with a 36 save performance. We finally got some good goaltending. We only scored 2 goals, but we do get the victory. So that's the 3rd straight game where it's only been decided by a goal. Apparently we live or die by these 1-goal games. Brookbank from Bursch and Fergon, and Brookbank from Bennett and Coburn. So Fergon picks up his first point, and Brookbank pulls up both of our goals. Devin No gets first star of the game, Brookbank the second, and their goalie the 3rd star. Yeah, this has been a very close series. Recchi got lost morale because of being scratched, but sorry, Recchi. It's to make us maybe a bit better. As Raymond Carter has returned. Let's go, Raymond. Not as good as Raymond Holt. Am I right? Let's get Raymond Carter in. And that should hopefully help us a bit more on the defensive side of things. No offense to Fergon. He picked up an assist in those 2 games, but he's not the same type of player. Okay, let's also do one more swap. Go back to like this. Let's go Coburn and Bennett, and then Bruce can go back to second line. Doesn't really matter how we have our top 6, but want to try and get us to generate maybe a bit more offense. So we're up 2-1, and Carolina's up 2-1. Toronto did win a game. Can we take a 3-1 series lead? If we win this game, we'd be in a great spot. But once again, we've had 3-1 series lead both times in the first 2 rounds, and it ends up going to a game 6. So, honestly, I have no idea what's going to happen, but let's see if we're able to use this home ice that we have now. Because if we win this game and then lose the next game, we still have home ice to end the series there potentially too. So, come on, boys. Let's set ourselves up for a good spot. Actually, let me put Devin back in because he wouldn't be back in, I don't think. I don't want to have Tayupkin in right now. Because Devin has not been, I would say he hasn't been great, Devin, but he's been much more consistent in terms of his performance. Tayupkin's had good games, and then he's allowed 5 goals in other games, so I want to go with the more consistent goaltender right now. So we'll see if Devin's able to give us that 3-1 series lead and kind of have another good performance like last game. Or is he going to be inconsistent this time around? Let's see what happens in Game 4. This is a big game for us and LA. Can we take that 3-1 series lead? First period, 2-1 us. That's a good start. They did score first, but Vance and Brossoit score, so of course it's the two old guys, 36 and 37 years old, I think. Shots are 12-8 in favor of us. We're only up by a goal, so once again, it's a very close game. Can we get some insurance in the second period to give us a better chance at winning in the third? Second period, 4-1. That's exactly what I wanted. Brossoit scores again, and Gustafsson scores on the power play. And if we hold this lead and we don't blow it like Game 1, we will be 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals, which is something I didn't really have on my bingo card this year, but here we are. Let's see what happens. See what happens in this third period. See if we're able to lock this down. Burst scores a power play goal to make it 5-1. Devin might have taken the starting role right now as the goaltender. Bennett scores a shorthanded goal. That's our second shorthanded goal, I think, of the series. Final 5 minutes. Hopefully we're not scoring all of our goals in just this game, though. And we are going to be 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals with a 6-1 victory. Devin's only allowed 2 goals in the last 2 games. He's going to get a chance to close out the series and get us to that Stanley Cup. So Vance from Yokel and Hawley, Brossoit and from Bennett, Brossoit from Coburn and Bennett, Gustafsson from Bennett and Hawley, Bursch from Wharton and Jokela, and Bennett from Jokela and Gustafsson. So Bennett was very quiet last round, but there he had like a 4-point game, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he had 4 points, so big answer there from him. Jokela had 3 points, a couple guys with 2 points, and a couple 1-pointers. And then, yeah, Devin's had really good performances these last 2 games, which has been huge. He doesn't even get a star in that game, which is kind of a surprise, but he didn't face a lot of shots, I guess. Bennett the first star, Brossoit the second, and Jokela the third. We are 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals, and Brossoit had 2 goals in that game, but he also went down with a mild concussion, which means he will be missing the rest of this round, I think, which is unfortunate, but at least we have the depth to kind of fill that need a little bit. God damn. Well, Wharton will definitely take that top line spot. Brookbank's going to get a huge opportunity. I could put Vance up, but Vance has been okay there as a third liner. And then he gets to play with Recchi for a little bit, so that's okay with me. Wow, that injury, though, is not great. Brossoit will be back for Game 6, if there is one. I mean, he would be in the lineup in Game 7 as well, if there is one. We're 1 win away, and we don't really know who might be our opponent if we are to get there, because they are now tied at 2. Interesting, okay. Well, Devin's definitely going to be starting the game again. He's been good these last 2 games. I hope that he could do a third straight game where he's really good. But he has been much better than Tayupkin. He's been strong at the right time. So, will he be able to get us to the Stanley Cup Finals? Oh, we'll definitely take a look at the celebration if we are able to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, but I hope this is our year at this rate, because if we're going all the way to the Cup Finals only to lose, then it's going to hurt a lot, and then we're not going to have a lot left of the series, because this episode, I'm technically pre-recording these episodes. This episode likely is up on the 19th, which means the Stanley Cup Finals, if we get there, would be up on the 22nd. Like, we won't really have a lot of time left to do another season after this almost, so we'll see what I end up doing after the fact if we end up winning the Stanley Cup this season, but we still have to win 1 game here to get to the Cup Finals, so let's see. Are we able to knock out Los Angeles in only 5 games? I feel like this year might be the year we win a cup because of the fact I've seen a ton of times where you go to Game 6, Game 7, Game 5, you end up winning a Stanley Cup. So this might be our year. Because we did knock out Anaheim in 6, Minnesota in 7. This might be our series where we win in 7. And then the Stanley Cup Finals could be a sweep, could be a 7-game series as well. But can we go to the Cup Finals with a win in Los Angeles? Come on, boys. First period. 2-2. Not great defensively. Not like the last 2 games for Devin, but we do have 2 goals of our own. Shots are 12-12. Recchi has a goal, or 2 goals, which is a huge surprise because he only had 1 goal in the regular season. But Connor Recchi gets put back in the lineup, and he says, hey, I know I might be an old man, but I'm going to do what I need to do. And basically he's replacing Brossoit, who's injured, so that's why he's getting power play time now, and that's why he's producing, I guess. Shots are even, goals are even. Can we find a way to get ourselves the lead in the second? What the heck is that goal? That's a goal from like right in the corner of the back of the net. That's a weird one. Oh well, anyways. Can we find a way to get that lead in that second period, please, boys? Second period? 3-3, oh my. We have another close game. I mean, we've had a ton of close games in the past, so hopefully this is one that we win in. So Nordgren gave us the lead, but Kavasha scored for them on the power play. Shots are 26-24 in favor of LA. It's been a very close game, just like it's been for most of our playoff runs so far. Let's see if we're able to get that 4th goal. Come on, boys. Come on, Vance. I know you have more in you. Come on, Coburn, Brookbank, Bruce. Final 10 minutes of this third period. Herman gives LA the lead. That's not great. Come on, guys. Final 5 minutes. Let's get one to tie it up. Get it OT. Bouchard makes it 5-3. And we're going to be going to a Game 6. We're going to be going to a Game 6 back on home ice as LA has survived another day. And Devin did not have a great performance. Recchi had his best playoff performance in quite some time, but yeah, an injury to Brossoit might have been the reason why we lost that game. Kaupinen was a -4, and these 4 guys are -3. Yikes. And yeah, Devin had his worst performance. So I think what we're going to do is probably go back to Tayukin for this game, which might be a risk again, but I did not like that performance from Devin. And I need to adjust our lineup a bit. That injury to Brossoit might have played a factor in that game, but we don't know that for sure. Recchi dropped down to an 80. Wasn't he just an 81? Let's see what we could do here. Kaupinen was -4, so let's move him to the top, pairing Carter down. And yeah, Tayukin will be back in net. Bruce up, Coburn down. Vance to the second line, I think. Yeah, Vance to the second line. And then Brookbank will be playing alongside Connor Recchi and Hawley. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, man. Is this the team to get ourselves to the conference finals, or are we going to lose 3 straight games in the conference finals? Hopefully not. Brossoit should be technically back this game, shouldn't he? He didn't say anything about him being back. Oh, he's still mildly injured, so he will be back for a Game 7, but we will not be risking his injury here with this game. I just don't want him to get like a long-term concussion, and then we don't have him for the rest of the playoffs. Carolina's up 3-2 on Toronto as well at the moment. So here we go, Game 6. This is a must-win game, or else it's going to be very tough to win in LA, I think, for Game 7. Because that building's always rocking. So let's see what happens in Game 6. See if we're able to weather the storm, because maybe the Kings are going to try and fight back into this. First period. Scoreless. I'll take that. Good defensive period. Similar to the 2 games that we only allowed 1 goal in. Good period for Tayukin. Good period for our defensive play, but not really our offense. But, I mean, shots are even again after 1. So both teams only got 16 combined shots, and there wasn't a single goal. Is there a way we could find a way to break this deadlock in the second period? Second period, 2-1 us. Okay, Wharton and Brookbank. But Kerman scored with the second left, which makes me a little bit worried. A little bit worried. Shots are 21-20, and we're up by 1 goal. We only have 1 more shot than them as well, so I am a little bit nervous because Tayukin has blown a ton of third period games. Is this one where he can actually shut them down? Come on, boys. Let's get that insurance marker, or else who knows what could happen. So, come on, boys. Lock it down. Lock it down. Get that third goal, and I'll feel a little bit safer, please. Power play opportunity. And they get a goal. Slotty, of course. Oh, my goodness. And then we get a power play goal, and of course, it's the man, the myth, the legend, who still exists at 37. Asher Vance, and Bennett scores too. We're intervening. We're up 2 goals with 3 minutes left. I think we are going to be going to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in a very long time. And the game-winning goal might have came off the stick of Asher Vance, which is like pretty much a storybook ending for this conference finals. We still have to win the Stanley Cup, obviously, but to get this far is great. I was not expecting our team to get this far, and looks like we're going to be able to do that here. We got the third line out there, Hawley, Brookbank, and Connor Recchi. Here's Hawley. We haven't seen a lot of these younger guys anyways in their games too, because we haven't really got that far in the playoffs. So Recchi got steamrolled, which is not nice because he's an old guy. But yeah, we haven't seen a lot of these guys in the lineup and what they look like. And for some reason, one of these guys, I don't know who that is, because this team is a lot different than before. Oh, it's Raymond Carter. He has white gloves, which is weird. I think it's a bug still in the game, but oh well. I'll take the all-white gloves. Why not? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Recchi has been decked 2 times in this game so far, or that we've seen. We're only a few minutes away from going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's go. They pulled their goaltender. Hawley has an empty net chance, but he does not get to shoot it because there was an offside. Are they showing the hits now or what? No, they're not. Currently, Weston Wharton is 3rd in points. Jude Warner of Carolina is up there. Oh yeah, Carolina has that franchise guy, I think. If I remember right. I think. Yeah, I think they have that franchise player. I'm not 100% sure with that. Holy crap, that pass had a lot of power on it. Come on, boys, lock that down. Get that empty net maybe if you want. Here's Bruce wearing number 39, which makes me think of Dominic Hasek when he was a Blackhawk. Wharton to Bennett, and he gets the empty netter. What a playoff run for Bennett. And we're going to be going to the Stanley Cup Finals with that empty netter for sure. Let's go. So Dallas Bruce is up there now as number 1 in terms of hits. Him and Charlie Gardner up there for Carolina. I kind of hope we still play the Leafs just because it would be kind of cool to face Brunstrom, but Carolina might be the team we're playing for the Stanley Cup. Here's Jokela. Kelpinen. Come on, boys. Just get it out and kill that time. Nice. Dallas Bruce finds it over to Weston Wharton. Over to Bennett. Back to Bruce. A crazy, powerful shot. Big save by their goaltender. We're into the final 15 seconds. Here's Slotty, the former guy of our former team. Way back in those days. A lot of those teams that didn't really succeed. Yemi gets hit and old to Slotty. Stopped again there. Yeah, what a performance from Tayukin. We are going to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since I feel like it was 2030 we won the Stanley Cup, but I could be completely wrong with that. I honestly don't know what year it was. But let's go. This team is 4 wins away. Trying to give Asher Vance that other ring to add to his other hand. Or to clog his other ear or something like that. To prove those haters, hey, this team is still good even if they were knocked out in the first round multiple times before this. Let's go. And there is Vance getting the clearance as Campbell Bull. Been a while since we've seen him in a cutscene like this. Always good to see him in his weird-ass porn stash, but... there we go. Let's through there, and let's see the 3 stars of the game. Tayub gets 3rd star of the game. Yeah, he came in and played solid. It's good. Weston Wharton gets 2nd star with a goal and 2 assists. Got an assist on that empty netter from Bennett. Him and Bennett have been really good additions to this team. And the 1st star of the game going to Carl Bennett with 2 goals and an assist. I did want to take a look, though, at the rest of the stats. There we go. Yeah, Vance's goal proves to be the game-winning goal. Crucial there from him. And yeah, great performance from Tayukin. Yeah, we're going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Is it Carolina we're facing is the question, though. We're going to take a look at our player stats first, though, before we find out. We might already find out, though. Yeah, we did. It is going to be Carolina for the Stanley Cup. Okay. I don't think I've faced Carolina in a Stanley Cup Finals in quite some time. So that's going to be interesting to see what they're looking like. But here's our player stats through 3 rounds. Bennett leading the way with 27 points. He's been fantastic. Vance at 12 points. He's been respectable. Bursch has been actually pretty good. He's definitely improving. 11 points, 19 games. Only a -3 now. He was a -6 at one point. Atkinson's probably been one of our worst players, though. 7 points ain't bad, but a -7 is. Left wing wise, Wharton's been fantastic at 23 points. Bruce has been good, 10 goals, 15 points. Hawley, 13 points. Coburn slowed down quite a bit, and he is -9, but that's okay. Gustafson, 6 points, 2 points from Laxo. Right wing wise, Brookbanks got 13 points. He's been good. Brossoit as well, 13 points before his injury. He will be back for the Cup Finals. And Recchi, 5 points. Not too bad. Defensively, Jokela, 17 points. Having that offense from the back end has been very helpful, because Kachuk, Norgren, all those type of guys won't really do that. But liking the way this team is going so far. And then, yeah, the goaltending numbers have been fairly inconsistent from both goalies, but we're up here in the Stanley Cup Finals, which is awesome. And we know we're going to be facing Carolina for the Stanley Cup. Let's get Brossoit back in before we forget about that for next episode. But, yeah, Connor Recchi, you're back out for a second. We're going to probably put you back in, though, for the Cup Finals just because you're Connor Recchi. So, sorry, Laxo. You're back out of the lineup. So, there's our team for the Stanley Cup Finals. What is Carolina looking like is the question now. Let's take a look at first their stats during the regular season and playoff-wise. So, if we go to the entire league, they finished below us. Wow, they were the 15th seeded team that made it into the playoffs. Holy crap. Okay. So we might be going up against the Cheese team. They finished 42, 32, and 8. But they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. This might be our best chance to win the Cup in a very long time for sure. They were one of the best offensive teams, though, only just behind us. So despite being like a 500 team, they were good offensively, but they give up a lot of goals. They were one of the worst defensive teams in the NHL. So hopefully that's good for us in the fact that we maybe could score a lot of goals against them, but maybe they'll just end up being really good defensively. Their power play was one of the best, probably would have helped out their offense a bit. And their penalty kill was one of the worst, so probably why they allowed so much goals. Weird team that is. How have they been in the playoffs? So have they been kind of more of a defensive team or an offensive team? We are 12-7. They're 12-6. They have scored almost as much as us, but we're scoring more. They have been a better defensive team than us, which is kind of a surprise based on the regular season numbers. Their power play is way better than ours, 27.4 to 20.5. And our penalty kill has been much better. So we're better offensively. They're better offensively on the power play. They are better defensively. We're better defensively on the penalty kill, if that makes sense. We have 3 short angles, 7-3 on home ice, 5-4 on home ice. They're almost the exact same, 7-2 on home ice and 5-4 on the road. Interesting. Now, what does this team look like? What former player lurks in Carolina? Kind of sucks that we're not playing Toronto just because of Brunstrom. I think he was there. Let me take a look and see if Brunstrom was there. Oh, Ken Sanders was there. I think I remember Sanders, right? Yeah, we had Sanders at one point. So we would have played Sanders, one former player, if we would have faced Toronto. I do remember Pope as well. I think we had him as a depth defenseman. But yeah, Brunstrom would have been a player we would have faced, but he lost in the conference finals. It looks weird seeing him in Toronto. But yeah, that's who we would have faced if we would have faced Toronto. Now, how is Carolina? How is Carolina? Yep, Charlie Gardner is a franchise player. And they don't have the depth really after him except for one guy. But holy crap, 97 overall Charlie Gardner, 25 years old, 3 straight 100-point seasons. Yet this team just barely made it into the playoffs. Yeah, this guy is definitely going to be very tough to contain. He's only signed for a couple more years and then he might head to free agency. But yeah, they also have Trey Everley and Jude Warner. Why do I recognize that name? Dallas. Oh, yeah, probably around there. Bob Kane, Earl Harvey, and Don Stamkos. Yeah, literally, like, Kane is good, Gardner is good, but the rest of that top six is heavily weak. So those guys' production's probably heavily influenced by Gardner. Third line has Seth Biggs and Louis Fournier, also Skylar Vitale, and a fourth line of Matthew Hedican, Joshua Sweat, and Evan Beach. I don't know why Fournier is their third line center, but he's also a very good player. So we basically got to shut down Fournier, Kane, and Gardner if we want to have a chance. Defensively, I forgot Len Morris got dealt there. I knew we had to face a former player. They have Oscar Gunderson, but yeah, Len Morris. This kind of hurts that we have to face Len. He knocked out Burnstrom, though. Because, yeah, we let him go to free agency. He played in Actually, we dealt him to Arizona, right? Yeah, we dealt him to Arizona. He played a few years there, went to Columbus. This was his first season in Columbus, and they traded him to Carolina. And he's been pretty solid here in the playoffs. Man, Len. Why? I liked Len Morris a lot, so. But yeah, their defensive core, not insane. Maximus Pan is a weird name. Daniel Pepin, Ruben Haluschuk, and Lubomir Zednik. So yeah, that defensive core is pretty weak, but I mean, these three guys are much better than the Wild's defensive core that they had. Goaltending wise, no. Aiden Howden. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is going to make for an interesting end to the series in a way, because Aiden Howden obviously was our Vezina winning goaltender, I think, at some points. He was arguably one of the best goalies I've drafted in the series. And after us, he left and signed in Carolina, and he's been there ever since. He hasn't been necessarily the best goaltender since leaving us, but man, I didn't think I'd ever see Aiden Howden again. He's only going to be a pending free agent this offseason, but still. And Sean Stajan is the backup. Depth-wise, they have Rick Boyer, Pierre Beauregard, and Rodney Jackson. So not the best depth. I think we have a solid chance, but obviously Gardner is the difference maker on this team. And if we could contain him, we could win the Stanley Cup. If we can't contain him, we could lose the Stanley Cup. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll take it to the Stanley Cup Finals against Len Morris and Aiden Howden and the Carolina Hurricanes, and see if we can win that first cup for the first time in quite a long time, because we are getting very close to the end of the series. So we need to win the Stanley Cup here, or else we probably won't get another one in this series. Is there anything down below? And I'll see you guys next time.